am an investigative journalist for Pakistan Today, based in Punjab, a province of 90 million people, the country's largest province. And social media, like we are from the print, and now we have an online presence also in form of a website, and then we have a Facebook page now, and we are on Twitter also, just because times are changing. Times are changing in a sense because pre-session we were just talking about what should we be talking about, and Mr. Gautam just asked me to like tell us what like things, how it's changed my investigative stuff. For example, like I report on the Punjab government, and the Punjab government, it is like what is happening, what is the government spending on like multi-billion projects, and where the projects being given to whose parties, is there any political connection, is there any hanky-panky going on. That's my job to highlight it and make people aware of it. But for the past 3-4 years, I would say, things have been changing. In the last decade, there was this like overwhelming. Initially, I remember as a child, there was only one stage on channel, and then we would wait one day on Doordarshan for some Indian movie, and then there were like a lot of private channels. That was last decade. Now, with the advent of internet and the probably democratization of technology, we have 1.8 million people on Twitter, around 1 million on LinkedIn. So things are changing. A lot of it has already changed, because in the print, I would like to explain, I don't know if not all of you are journalists, I'm sure. In the print, there is like an incident happening, or a source feeding it to a reporter who is like gathering news. He is going to file it to the newsroom, then there is going to be a editorial oversight, then it's going to go to the newsroom. After editing, it's going to go to the print, and then it goes to the end user, who is the reader, which in certain cases is going to give feedback either through letter to the editor or through whatever means that he, or again in form of other news or tips that he can give to the reporter or anybody else. So that is the traditional model of newspaper, the print, that's how it works. And then there are certain sections, as all of you are aware, the news pages, the editorial pages, the opinion pages, the entertainment and whatever, there are different. Like in the US, they have like a specific full page for weather, because they are so much interested in weather. But these things change from places to places. But the basic format is news pages, opinions, editorials, and then there is the voice of the paper, which is like the editorial of that day. But with the advent of social media, things have changed a lot. Like initially, it is like the spaces are shrinking, roles are being redefined. I, as a reporter, for example, we just mentioned this incident, and I was only about to mention that one, that the Osama bin Laden raid, that was probably, people got to know about it not through a reporter, not through any channel. It was basically a tweet. So a lot of more and more people are basically, as a couple of people here also said, that they are journalists, or probably this empowers them, this gives them this right to share information, whatever news that they gather. But I personally am not against change, because change it is, even probably we had not newspaper from the beginning of time. There was somebody who started the newspaper, the print started, it has a certain beginning, it also changed a lot of things. But now the change is the social media, a lot of people are sharing it there. But as a journalist, I think it is like, I would also like to talk about the destructive part of it. Because of social media, I might get fired from my organization, because we are actually facing, the print is actually facing a lot of problems generating revenues. How is and where are the revenues going to come from? Because, and then there is another problem that is called about the ethics of journalism. Not everybody around. For example, there is this one silly little YouTube film or movie or trailer, whatever that was, that created a havoc around the globe. A lot of protests around the globe. A lot of people got killed just because that one video about the Prophet got online, uploaded, and no government, no institution, no media house could even think of putting it on their site or on the online. But this power to the people, which is good in a lot of instances, it holds the government, the people accountable. For example, if I've got a story, and it has happened a lot of times, because it is part of my job to investigate stuff against the government, on the government, a lot of times the government pressure comes on the, institution, the paper, the organization, and I have to hold my story. They do not let it publish. But in that certain case, I can tweet about it, I can put it on Facebook, I could have a fake account on Facebook, which could probably share that information, and the purpose is served. That this particular scam that the people should know, if my organization doesn't allow me to publish, I can put it through Facebook, through Twitter, and the people would know. The purpose is served. But that is only one part of it. The other part is that in case of that particular video, in case of any other thing, because in the subcontinent especially in Pakistan also, I'm sure it's the same as, probably the same in India also, the people are very emotional. There's one short story I just off the cuff remember about George Orwell shooting an elephant, in which he describes in the subcontinent. Orwell says that the closer you go to the incident, the more you realize that whatever you have been listening so far was untrue, incorrect. This is probably about the subcontinent. That anybody who is thinking of something or perceiving something, being on the spot, perceiving some situation to be something or thinking of something like that, tweeting about it, putting it on Facebook, can actually start to have consequences which could even result in riots, which could even result in a lot of killing, which could even result in a lot of disturbance. So in that particular case, I don't want to be anti-change, to sound anti-change. I'm not a traditionalist conservative per se, but I think there should be certain ethics introduced. And as a journalist, I've spent a lot of years, I've worked in 2 national dailies. I've experienced, and not just about me, there are a lot of other journalists in India also. Journalists have got their training, they meet a lot of different people, they've got a reputation to make, they're like held accountable by the editorial oversight, they're like a lot of their other different checks, not only just on the journalist, on the organization also. So in this empowering the people, the Twitter, as long as you think that somebody was looking so great on the wedding, that's alright. But if you want to treat like somebody from a particular sect or somebody from a particular religion was doing this particular stuff at that time, that could enrage a lot of people, and they are going to react without even ascertaining knowing the facts, if it actually happened on the ground or not. And in for example, in my country, there are a lot of sensitive issues, and a lot of them, for example, in one particular case, there was this caricature issue. There were a lot of like looting and huge crowds protesting out on the Mall Road, which is very famous British era road in Lahore, where there was huge, thousands of people gathering to protest, register their protest. All of that started from it is all about in a very distant part of the world. In one newspaper, there is something which is published, it is put online, and through the power of the social media, it is spread, and most of the people don't even know, and then people get to know about it. And then it results into consequences which become ungovernable, which ends up like 80 motorbikes being burned down by an angry mob, who, because of certain social media and certain things. So in that particular case, in that particular instance, I would say social media has helped me a lot. A lot of cases, I will get tips from the social media. I am following a lot of people, important people who would tweet, and that would give tips to me. In one particular case, for example, our chief minister, who has again been elected, wanted to cope with the rising tide of Imran Khan, the cricketer. I was just here so many times, so I'll take it. I deserve it. Imran Khan, he was like a cricketer turned politician, he was very famous. So the PMLN government, who was in power in Punjab, was probably threatened, like all politicians, they always want to stay in power. So they were threatened, and Imran Khan was, what the avant-garde thing about Imran Khan was that he has got a very good social media team. The PTI, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, his political party, actually introduced social media into politics. He had a very amazing Facebook page, Twitter, and he started memes and in politics about everything that a politician is going to say, their social media team is going to highlight it. So in order to cope his rising influence on Facebook and in the social media, the chief minister issued a circular saying that instructing all officials in all the province, in 36 districts, to all the lowermost, that they should like his page, Facebook page, and made it mandatory to follow him on Twitter, so that he could also say in public that this much likes I have on Facebook and this much followers on Twitter. So that circular, somebody got that picture of that circular and shared it to me on Facebook. So probably it is through Facebook that I came to know of that particular story, and I could have a very good scoop, and that the news was circulated, made rounds, a lot of it, and he had to face a lot of embarrassment afterwards. So that is also positive part of it. But I have already, I think, discussed the negative part of it, and I was reminded of the 10 minutes thing, and that's it, I think. So